Hello YouTube. In this video we're going to talk about encryption, what it is, and how it helps to protect you. What is encryption? Encryption is a means of obscuring and hiding data by converting the data into a secret code by means of a key. This key is the only thing that can decode the data and re-encode it again if needed. Most encryption programs use a cipher in combination with a passphrase to generate the actual key that is used to encode the data. There are many different encryption methods out there and different encryption applications for different operating systems and uses. For example, there is a symmetric cipher, which can be linear and do stream encryption, and block ciphers, which take chunks of data that is segmented and encrypts it off of the blocks it uses. These have a key that is used for both encryption and decryption of the data. There are also asymmetric ciphers out there that use a passphrase to generate a set of keys, one private, one public. The public key can decrypt data from the private key, but cannot do the base encryption itself. The public key is a mathematical common that is close enough to the private key to only decrypt the data into a readable, usable format. All of this is used to obscure your data in a way that an attacker cannot see what information exists in the data, rendering it completely useless to them. Encryption is known to go all the way back to the Romans, with Caesar using his encryption Rot 13 to encode secret messages. What is a cipher? A cipher is the secret disguised way to write a code of sort. Most ciphers and computers use an algorithm to assemble the data into a completed encrypted set. The cipher is what the key and algorithm use to write the coded message and hide the information. Let's look back to the Romans and the Rot 13 cipher. This was actually known as a slide cipher, in which the key and algorithm are just a shift of the letters 13 places to the left or right. A equals M, B equals N, C equals O, D equals P, and so on. This was an effective cipher back in those days with starting cryptography. And cryptography's infancy, a simple cipher like this, was very strong. In today's standards, ciphers have become much more complex and have to be as we now use computers to encode this information. We use computers to decode this information. When computing power is ever growing, so many ciphers, computers can break the code, generate the key, and decrypt the data rather quickly with simple ciphers. What is cryptography? Typical for most words that end in ography, it is the study of techniques for secret writing, aka encryption. Little did the Romans know that with the creation of their secret code that didn't appear to be a known language, come the rise of studying said code to break it and interpret the message. Cryptography today has turned more to the computers and less away from physical writing. Though the various governments of the world may still use different encryption methods for letters and radio transmissions, this is nowhere near as massive as the use for encryption in computers. There are many specialists that make their entire living off of studying and breaking ciphers to build a key in order to decrypt other people's messages. So what is a key? A key is exactly that. It is the key that encrypts or locks the data, or decrypts or unlocks the data. This can be commonly called the password or passphrase. Most of all home routers are capable of WPA, WPA2 to encrypt the wireless traffic. This commonly uses a symmetric encryption cipher and single key called a passphrase. Some keys are created by the external entity that then supply the keys to the company or individual, and some keys are made by the individual. In symmetric encryption, the key does both the encrypting and the decrypting of the data or message. In asymmetric encryption, two keys are generated. You have the main key, known as the private key, which is used to encrypt the message, and the public key, which is given to the other side to decrypt the message to be able to enter a readable format. So the public key really isn't meant for encrypting. The public key is meant for decryption. Why is encryption important to me? Encryption is important today for security. Encryption is, in every applicable use, is designed to keep your data private, ensuring integrity and reliability of your data. Encryption is used in website applications, network traffic, both wired and wireless, and physical data storage. Without encryption, every time you make a purchase, your credit card, debit card, or bank information, along with your personal address and phone number, would be out there for anyone and everyone to see on the internet every single time you make a purchase online at a store or anything other than cash or money order. Every day your bank transmits your account and millions of other accounts information over the internet. Good thing encryption's in place, right? What encryption really protects? Information. Simple answer. That's all that encryption protects is information. Names, birthdays, social security numbers, physical addresses, email addresses, medical information, financial information, intellectual property. Encryption is a great way to protect all the information that an attacker or individual could use to identify another individual or seek capital gain by theft or manipulation of this information. So how can I use encryption? Well, first do some research. Information will be the greatest key to setting up your encryption needs to help you secure your data. Google search will be your best friend. Google how to set up encryption on your home router to make sure your wireless network transmissions are encrypted. How to set up SSL and TLS on your web browser. And how to know for sure when your web browser is using SSL and TLS to keep your data encrypted. How to encrypt your hard drive using BitLocker or another application to keep your data safe on your computer. How to encrypt your cell phone to protect information that is contained on it. How to encrypt your external drives and storage devices to make sure that the data on them is safe as well. Remember, a stolen storage device that isn't encrypted, that information is just 100% there. They can just grab it and do whatever they want. A stolen storage device that is encrypted, however, is not 100% secure to a determined attacker. If it is something that will take over 1,000,000 years to decrypt, it's worthless to them and your data will remain safe for the most part from prying eyes. However, if it's an encryption that is very weak and easy to break, it's something that could take them anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe a year. And a determined attacker, if it is important information, will take that time span to crack your encryption to get your information. So you want to make sure you're using the most current, strongest encryption capable and possible for what your application is. Most common information leakage. Data hemorrhages from computers like no other. This information goes all over the place in so many different forms. The most common leakage of information is from information being stolen in transit due to lack of adequate encryption or no encryption at all. This is information that's stolen off of the internet or networks. The second most common is from trash. Yep, physical trash, like papers, documents, information like this, to digital trash in systems such as logs and other documents. All documents containing any personal or important information should be properly stored in safeguarded location. Proper disposal of documents via shredding or incineration of the physical copies, and proper shredding and destruction of digital copies. The third most common is word of mouth. That's right, go straight to the source, which is a person. Social engineering techniques get better and better, and attackers are good at convincing people to give them information or just send them money for promised goods. The fourth most common is theft, be it of physical property or intellectual property. Sad truth is, all of these can be significantly reduced with good encryption policies and destruction policies. The estimated loss and damages because of information leakage is up to several hundreds of millions each and every year, and it keeps increasing. It will soon be in the several billions range. Encryption is a very good method. I kind of like to use different encryptions for USB drives, especially if it has information on it that I don't want lost. Most of the time, if I have sensitive documents that I don't want anybody getting a hold of, I have applications that can archive and encrypt the archive, so that way you have to know the passphrase or something like that to be able to decrypt it and extract out the archive to be able to look at the files. There's a lot of different methods of encryption out there. I would highly recommend for like tax documents and stuff like that, you use some form of encryption to be able to lock those files away where somebody can't get to them easily. I'd like to thank you for your time. This information's out there for absolutely everyone. As always, watch, like, and share. Have a great day.